Hi, welcome back. My name is Cole.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is CTRL-AC.
CTRL-AC is the podcast where we talk about over-promising and not delivering. A common theme with
anything tech, really.
Tesla Motors.
Oh.
Yeah. They tend to overpromise a lot. And they're big promises. They have a lot of potential. And then they don't underdeliver.
But they don't quite
They just
meet their
don't deliver.
expectations.
But they will this time. The Cybertruck is happening. We have an event. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
This is episode 50.
We made it.
Celebratory sound effect. Pretty cool. We have a Q&A today. We have a car review. We have some pretty interesting stories. Okay, so the first couple things are features that I kind of knew existed, but I've really noticed them over the past couple weeks. Thought it's worth talking about. So at work, I usually have one AirPod in.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a podcast on.
Yeah, same.
And I've noticed that the Siri voice inflection is really good when it's reading a text. And I never really noticed this before. If someone texts me and it's, you watching the game later, Siri will say, Bob Smith says, you watching the game later? Or if it's like, yeah, let's go, they just scored. It's like, yeah, let's go, they just scored. And it's like a different inflection depending on how the sentence is.
So basically, Siri's getting better.
That may have been around forever. I really don't know. But I just noticed it over the past couple weeks, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Second thing is, the AirPods Pro voice detection is so nice, and it works really, really well. So when I am walking around and I have my podcast playing, if I start talking, cranks down the volume and pauses it. So if I get in a conversation, it's already paused.
Nice.
And then I continue talking, or I continue not talking, and then it plays my podcast again. But if I'm walking and I say, hey, good morning, it will crank down the volume, but leave it playing and then bring it back up because I wasn't talking long enough. It actually works really, really well. And if I'm standing and other people are talking, it doesn't trigger. It's only me.
Nice.
Kind of an underappreciated thing. All right, so the only reason that I'm not buying the Vision Pro, which is $3,500,
is because it's $3,500.
Well, no, that's fine. The reason I'm not buying it is, of course, I can't use it when driving. That's like a common reason. But a new Apple patent. This is so ridiculous. They've been granted a patent for using Vision Pro to see out of an Apple car that would not have any windows. It's worth noting that Apple files for an incredible amount of patents, and not all of them actually turn into products.
Right.
But this is one way to make a car. A VR system may include at least one VR controller that generates virtual content for projection to passengers. It may include views of the passenger's environment. Views of the passenger's environment augmented with virtual content. So, yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this. This sounds horrible. It says the VR system may integrate inputs from a number of other sources, including but not limited to sensors, LiDAR, video cameras, all that. So the car wouldn't have windows, which has been like a long-standing joke. The Apple car won't have windows.
But now it actually has a way to not have windows. Supposedly.
Yeah, this is a bad idea.
So I'm assuming they would just use their same sensors that they have on the Vision Pro.
But why not just a window? Why make someone wear a Vision Pro
Okay.
while driving the car?
Listen. Windows on cars are a damage point that causes a lot of...
So is wearing a headset.
No, but hold on. I can hear this out. If you're in an accident, the first thing that's going to shatter is the glass.
I see what you mean though. So
But like it's still a damage point on a high damage point on
the
a
car
car.
could be safer without windows.
Right. But then also you're relying on cameras and sensors to drive, which is software. And windows aren't software. That's something you can roll down and get out. And like, what if the car falls into a lake? Like you're taking a curve, the tire loses traction, you fall off a mountain into a body of water.
And you're in a completely enclosed capsule.
You're in a Ocean Gate submarine.
Okay.
Like you're not getting out of this.
What could go wrong?
Like the amount of pressure that's on the car, you can't open the door. That's like why you can't open the door underwater in your car.
Yeah.
Because of like how much pressure there is, right? Like you would literally be stuck.
And to get out, you can't break a window.
You can't break a window.
I don't know. This just seems like there are so many people who already don't know how to drive. We don't need them now wearing a headset. Yeah, this isn't going to be allowed. Like the United States is not going to allow windowless cars
Right.
for quite a while.
I bet they're gonna make a law or something like
I'm sure.
like you have to have like you can't have any kind of virtual device like whatever.
But
I'm sure there are already laws
just,
like
it's
that.
just a patent though.
Right.
It's not gonna actually.
I don't think there are any laws specifically about driving with any kind of headset on. I don't know if there are or not, but like I could hop on an Oculus Quest 2, put it on pass-through mode, and see outside with color.
With like 4-second latency.
With like 4-second latency. No, it's bad. I mean, it's like half a second, but half a second is all it takes.
I mean, yeah. A lot of reviewers said that Vision Pro was the only pass-through headset where they could comfortably like walk, use their phone, which is crazy. I can't wait to try that.
Yeah, honestly,
If there's a Vision Pro Lite and it's $1,000,
we'll split it.
we may pick that one of those up.
Uh-huh.
But $3,500, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
If it had M3, maybe. Speaking of vehicles, the Cybertruck is here. Is coming November 30th at the Gigafactory in Texas. That's it. We've waited, 3 or 4 years for this?
Like
It was announced
10.
in 2019. It's been 4 years. The Cybertruck delivery event will be in a little over a month, and that'll be it. People will get them. Reviewers will get them. Everyone from Doug DeMuro to Whistle and Diesel will have a Cybertruck video out. I cannot wait. 1 million people have pre-ordered this thing. 1 million people are not getting them this year.
There are 1 million pre-orders of this?
Yeah.
Wow.
How many F-150s does Ford make a year? Okay, Ford makes 900,000 F-150s a year. Last year, Ford sold like 700,000. And Ford is Ford, and the F-150 is the F-150. Tesla's going to take an extremely long time to actually deliver 1 million Cybertrucks. And the other thing is 1 million people are not going to keep their pre-order. Like a lot of people just put this $100 down just in case. I guarantee you probably half of those people are going to not go through with this.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. This is going to be a crazy thing to see. Oh yeah, and it's also bulletproof.
Supposedly.
No, it literally is. There are pictures now of it with a bunch of bullet holes on the side after Tesla did bullet dents. After Tesla did their testing, the entire thing is bulletproof.
Nice.
I love this thing. Apple has dropped a new product. It's an Apple Pencil. They are the only company who can drop a pencil and then take over the tech news cycle for the whole day. It's crazy. The new Apple Pencil is an entry-level pencil. It has a USB-C port. And that's it.
That's it.
This is one of the most confusing Apple products there is. So,
I will never understand Apple's lineup of Apple Pencil.
the Apple Pencil lineup is now 3 pencils. We have Apple Pencil 2nd generation, which is the Apple Pencil that's been around for a while, that sticks to the top of the iPad
and charges magnetically.
Then we have Apple Pencil USB-C, which is just announced, and Apple Pencil 1st gen. So we have 2nd gen USB-C 1st gen. And then there's a list of features. So, pixel perfect precision. All of them have it. Low latency. All of them have it. Tilt sensitivity, all of them have it. Pressure sensitivity is on 2nd gen and 1st gen, not the new one. Keep in mind, 1st gen charges by sticking the entire pencil into the lightning port of an iPad. So it's completely obsolete because they're all USB-C.
Right.
So pressure sensitivity, 2nd gen and 1st gen. Attaches magnetically, 2nd gen and USB-C, the new one. Wireless pairing and charging, only 2nd gen, not the new USB-C one. So the new one will stick to the iPad, but it doesn't charge. Supports Apple Pencil Hover, 2nd gen, USB-C. And then the 2nd gen has a double tap feature and free engraving. So there are literally features that the 1st gen obsolete Apple Pencil has that the USB-C one doesn't. It's so confusing.
Do they still sell the 1st gen one?
Yes, that's the problem.
Okay. If they stopped selling the 1st gen one, that would make sense. But the fact that they still have it for...
They need to have Apple Pencil and Apple Pencil Pro.
Yes.
Apple Pencil Pro being 2nd gen, Apple Pencil being the USB-C one. On the new Apple Pencil, the top of it comes off and there's a USB-C port. Much better way to charge this, but not as good as the magnetic charging.
Right.
I don't know. It's $79. So you save $50. You lose magnetic charging, pressure sensitivity. Are those needed things? The magnetic charging is. I think that's really nice.
I'd say for $50 cheaper, no.
I mean, if you're not an artist, you don't even need this thing to begin with.
Right.
I can see this being like thrown into a lot of iPad deals. Like when people buy it and it says, add an Apple Pencil for $80. Maybe it's easier to stomach than $130.
Yeah. Because like Apple Pencils are nice for like some people for note taking and stuff. But $130
such a
for
small
a pencil.
group of people though.
Yeah. But I bet they'll like have bundle deals and stuff, like carrier deals type stuff. Like you get an Apple Pencil if you buy it like right now.
Because it's cheaper, I guess. I saw a tweet that said this thing doesn't have the double tap thing, doesn't have wireless charging and pairing. All it has to do is snap magnetically. So a $20 AliExpress Temu Apple Pencil clone is looking mighty fine right now. Because it also doesn't have wireless charging and quick pairing.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing. I don't know.
You know what I do know, though? I do know that it's getting cold outside.
It actually is. It's so nice. It's almost to the point where it's too cold to sit outside on your porch.
Yeah, what I need is like a fireplace, like some heating, like an outdoor like living space.
That would be sick. Who are you going to call to do that?
I don't know. Do you know anybody?
You should call the Complete Backyard.
Who's that?
The Complete Backyard is a custom outdoor living space design and build company. Basically, you tell them exactly what you want your backyard to look like, and they'll build it. From a pool, an outdoor kitchen in the summer, to a hot tub and fire pit in the winter, they've got you covered. For a consultation, you can go to thecompletebackyard.com. We'll kind of rep through these last two things and then get to car review and Q&A. Twitter is going to start charging users in some countries $1 a year just to verify they're human. This is to stop all the bots on Twitter, which is still a humongous problem.
Yes.
$1 a year is not a lot of, and this is only to be able to tweet and to post and repost stuff, because it's not tweet anymore. It's not a lot of money. It's $1 a year. It still is annoying because there are some people who don't really use X that often.
Right.
So to have them have to set up a subscription, like just mentally, that doesn't sit well.
And it's like, why should I give you $1 to prove that I'm a human?
Yeah, they should. The bot problem on Twitter is so bad. It's so bad. I've blocked so many people who follow me.
I had like 120 followers and I went and like blocked all of them. Every single one of them was a bot. Except like you and my dad.
You got raided by bots.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Nope, that happens. That's a common thing. Like people just get like bombed by bots.
Especially in comments and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about subscribing to Twitter Blue. Or X Premium, whatever it's called now.
Why?
Because I consistently hit the tweet limit for characters.
Oh, really?
And I kind of want that removed. I don't care about the check mark. I just want more characters in a tweet.
But also the check mark.
But I don't want to give in.
I mean, it's $8 a month.
I know. Which I already have to pay now for YouTube Premium.
Right. Because they just blocked their ad block. They blocked all ad blockers.
We've talked about that before. They've kind of like just said no. Like in the past, they've tolerated ad blockers. They've encouraged you not to use it, but they've also tolerated it. Now you just can't use an ad blocker on YouTube.
I mean, okay.
It will show a black screen. You will not see the ad, but it will still play in the background, and then your content will start once the phantom ad is over. You're still waiting the same amount of time for the video to start. To me, $8 a month for the student plan for YouTube Premium is worth it. Because I use YouTube a bunch, more than any other streaming service.
Yeah.
And saving the 20 to 30 seconds before a video is honestly worth it.
It's so sad our attention spans are 0.
Yeah, TikTok has destroyed retention.
Yeah.
Like long form YouTube content.
It's gone. I used to be able to sit through playthroughs of games like The Last of Us. 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, now if the Instagram reel does not grab my attention in the first quarter of a second, scrolling by.
Exactly.
Terrible content. Speaking of YouTube, we have a bunch of new YouTube features. These are interesting. Some of them are not actually great. They have a new feature called Stable Volume, which reduces jarring differences in volume.
So it's just
if there's talking in a video and then an explosion, it will tame down the explosion, make it all
So it's just
consistent.
decibel matching.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to work perfectly because some videos genuinely have quiet parts and loud parts.
Right,
and it's
Mr.
intentional.
Beast's video.
Him screaming at the beginning.
Yeah, and then a train falls into a hole.
Yeah, who knows if that's going to get cut out. You can now press and hold in the YouTube player on the mobile app, and it will jump to 2 times speed, and then you let go and it goes back. I love this because it's a much easier way to fast forward. TikTok has this. So this is not an original thing. It has better seeking features, so you can drag across the bottom, and it will scroll through the content, where you can see what's happening. Mm-hmm. It's not like a little box over the timeline thing. Has a lock screen mode. Has a new You page for all your stuff. It has a Shazam feature for Google Music built into YouTube. So you can find stuff like that. The best part of this whole thing is that there are now animations that, quote, create meaningful moments. So whenever a YouTuber says like or subscribe, the like and subscribe buttons blow up. They get all colorful and there are sparkles.
Okay, that's
and it shows you exactly where to click it. The actual YouTube text from the press release is, and once the fans smash that button, a subtle explosion of playful sparkles will reward them. I hate this because it encourages people to say like and subscribe. More than they already do.
There's no real going back from that, especially not for video game content.
I guess. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with you saying like and subscribe. It's just the cringy clickbaity YouTubers who as soon as you click the video, be sure to like and subscribe before there's any content.
Or it's like and subscribe or the dog dies. It's the Minecraft dog with a bunch of...
I think the person who handles this is the best is Mark Rober, because he'll have the entire crazy video, and at the very end it says, please consider subscribing. Mm-hmm. After you present the content...
Mark Rober's also the best YouTuber.
Yeah, then you present...
YouTube, next to Mr. Beast.
Please subscribe after you've given them the content. Provide the reason to subscribe, then the call to action.
Right.
He does it the best. But now the buttons explode, so that's cool, I guess. If you say it a bunch.
It's a feature. Speaking of features, our Model Y that we reviewed has some really cool features that you'll hear about.
We'll go ahead and roll that audio. That was a pretty fun car to review.
That was fun. We both enjoyed that.
All right, so we are in a Tesla Model Y long-range dual motor.
I've got to say, I'm way more impressed by this than the Mustang Mach-E.
This is the second EV we've tested. This is the first Tesla we've tested. This is the first Tesla I've ever driven.
Yeah, this is the first Tesla I've ever been in, so this is kind of an interesting experience for me.
so far, it's really nice. It feels more refined than the Mach-E. Like the regen feel, the transition from the acceleration to the regen feels more refined than the Mach-E did.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I really have to say about it is the suspension's a lot stiffer than the Mach-E.
It does kind of feel stiffer. This isn't the performance, so we don't have different suspension modes, so we're kind of just stuck with whatever we have. The acceleration is in standard, and then steering is in sport, which feels normal. Then if I put it in comfort, oh yeah, then it's all like floaty.
Like gooey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sport steering, though, does feel pretty comfortable. It has a ton of space in it. It's very practical. This has a 330-ish mile range, which is honestly fine. That's what most base model Teslas have, and that's more than enough for everyday stuff.
Right. One thing that's constantly impressing me is this display. It's got a Ryzen system in it, so obviously having a computer like that in your car is a very big advantage over your Boss Audio CarPlay screen.
By far the most responsive infotainment system I've ever. It's more responsive than CarPlay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even like wired CarPlay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is cool. So it shows our review car on the screen, and then when I come up to another car, it shows all of them on the screen too.
They also show up, kind of. It's very scuffed, but oh. Wait, you didn't do any of that?
So that's autopilot.
Wait, you didn't do any of that?
I didn't do any of that. So it just slowed down by itself. So autopilot on a Tesla is like the gold standard of car self-driving. So we're going to turn onto this road here. The speed limit's 40. And then I'm just going to
45.
Double click this. And we're in autopilot. So my hands are off the wheel. My feet are not on the gas or the brake. And we're just comfortably chugging along at the speed limit.
Actually, one under the speed limit.
One under the speed limit. We're going through a green light.
It showed the lights on the display.
This is really cool.
And you can see the wheel like twitching.
Okay, and then it says apply slight force to the wheel. And then...
Okay, that's impressive.
So I had to slow down for the red light.
Oh, you didn't do that? Or you did that?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. So basically, don't rely on this.
Well, so this isn't full self-driving. That's just normal autopilot. Yeah. If it were full self-driving, then it would see the red lights and stuff. But that was impressive.
That was impressive. Hey, look, there's another one.
All right, so this does have 420 horsepower, so we're at a little yield. So I'll give it a little bit of gas, get up to the speed limit.
Wow. Okay. That is not even comparable to the Mach-E.
Punchy. That is definitely quick.
Yeah, this is a trackable SUV, not an SUV.
This is not even the performance. This does a 4.4 second 0 to 60, and it still feels really quick. All right, even the speed limit on this road's 40, and I haven't gone above 40. Just going like 30 to 40 is ridiculously quick. So while you probably wouldn't want to like race this car because it is still an SUV with not great brakes.
And high weight, too.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
This is several thousand pounds, so you shouldn't exactly be, chucking this around corners. I'm going to flip it into autopilot again. We're coming up to a red light, and we're behind a car. And this is going to just slow down.
Oh, that did that on its own.
Comfortable distance behind the car.
Okay.
And then the light turns green.
Is it going to switch lanes or no?
Let's see.
Put your blinker on and see if it switches lanes.
So there's a car. So if I put my blinker on, okay, it will not switch lanes on its own. So it's not full self-driving. It's just normal autopilot.
So it's just going to keep you in your lane.
Right. But this is still really good.
This is really impressive.
Speed limit's 40. I'm at 36 because there's a car in front of me. You can adjust how closely it follows the car in front of you in the screen settings. This is really good, though.
Most cars now have some form of autopilot. Like, Toyotas have autopilots.
Yeah.
And, like, they're radar autopilots. So, like, it still detects stuff. It doesn't just keep you in your lane. Like, it still detects stuff and can kind of steer the wheel. But this is by far the most impressive one I've seen.
And as soon as I touch the wheel and start steering it, it flips it out of autopilot.
Which is cool.
Yeah, so you can take over manual control. As we're stopping, this little green bar goes across the top, and that shows our regen, so we're getting a little bit of juice back in the battery. I'm surprised, though, with how this drives. It drives surprisingly well.
Yeah. This specific one, if I was looking for comfort and ride comfort, this isn't probably the one that I would pick to daily drive because of how stiff the suspension is. Like, on that fairly bumpy road, which you would find a lot on a road trip if it's the long range, which is the one you'd be if you took a road trip, right? Like, so... The suspension, that's my really only bad thing about the car is how stiff the suspension is for what they're marketing it as, which is a long-range car.
Yeah. And it's not horrible.
It's not bad.
Kind of nice if you could adjust it a little bit. It's very comfy.
It's a very... In the interior, it's very comfortable. You can see, like, how much there isn't just because the dash, there's no...
Right, there's a
button. Or is this...
You notice the lack of things more than, like... You notice actual features.
It's the door handle. Right. Like, it's all just plastics, this suede on the door.
The autopilot, especially, to me, is 100% the coolest feature of this car.
Oh, yeah.
This is really, really good. And it also doesn't require you to put your hands on it a bunch. You just have to apply a little bit of force every now and then so it knows you're there. And it's just holding us at 40 miles an hour. Right down the road. So overall impressions, solid.
Overall, though, this car is really nice. The inside is very comfortable. I like the little moonroof we have here over the entire car.
Yeah, it's the gold standard of EV.
Yeah.
This is a really practical, everyday car. Ton of storage. It's a fun car to drive. It's practical. Autopilot's great. If you're in the market for...
How much can you get this for?
Smallish SUV. You can find these used for around 40-ish, like high 40s. And for that price, I think it's a really solid car.
100%, yeah. So
yeah, thanks again to Vanderriff Acura for letting us review the Model Y. That was a pretty fun car.
It was a very fun car.
Since this is episode 50, we have a Q&A. As always, we put out a poll on our Instagram. Y'all responded. Here are your questions. Question number 1 from Caleb. Why does Apple use Samsung parts? Because money, basically.
Yeah.
Apple will use Samsung's display panel. They'll use Qualcomm's 5G modem. They use a lot of parts that other people create. They engineer everything. They just have other people make the actual panels simply because it's cheaper than like creating an entire display panel division themselves. So it's engineered by Apple. It's just built by another company. They just staff it out. So simply because of money.
Yeah. And also, they've developed their M series chips for 3-4 years now?
Yeah, they do all the in-house development.
Right.
They just have someone else make it.
Right. And also stuff like the Qualcomm chips, the Samsung memory, the Samsung displays.
Yeah.
They don't need to make those. They have really no need to make those, but they can outsource them to people like Samsung.
Right.
Which they also share their displays and everything else with other
But it's
users.
not the S23 Ultra display that's on the iPhone.
No, it's a panel.
It's a completely different thing.
Right.
It's just made by the same company.
So our second question is a desktop computer becoming obsolete? No.
Really?
No, it's not.
I kind of think yes.
No.
All right, let's hear no.
Because you can't game on a laptop efficiently for hours on end without it being plugged in, without getting hot, and with it being uncomfortable. Sure, you can
play for 45 minutes to an hour on battery.
Yeah, you can play, Resident Evil 4 on your MacBook Pro?
No, on your iPhone 15 Pro. A17 Pro.
Yep. But no. There's no different, there's no experience building your own computer.
What if you don't game?
If you don't game, then if you don't need a reason to travel, you can spend so much less money on a desktop than a laptop.
I feel like buying a laptop, though, and having a dock station, having a USB-C hub and a monitor and a keyboard and mouse is such a better experience.
It 100% depends on use case. If you don't game, then But if you need more power for less money, a PC is the way to go. But if you can fork over the couple $1,000s that takes for a laptop, a monitor that can handle that laptop, to match the laptop screen, because you don't want to downgrade.
That's a problem that I've had too. I have an M2 MacBook Air, and that display is really, really good.
Yeah, you're like 900, or you're like 1020p.
There's no monitor other than like the Pro display that's going to give you this kind of quality.
Which is the point that Apple tries to make.
Right. But are they becoming obsolete? It honestly depends on you.
Yeah. They're not
in general,
obsolete.
not necessarily.
No, they're not becoming obsolete. They're just, their use cases are shifting. Like data centers, they have to use computers.
They can't just have a bunch of laptops plugged into the wall.
Like schools, computer labs, they can't just have a bunch of laptops propped up on tables to code.
Yeah. So for like in industries and...
For a home use, a Mac Mini is technically a desktop still. So I think no, they're not becoming obsolete, and that's my statement.
Third question, why are commercials for the iPhone 15 promoting titanium instead of the 3 cameras and zoom? I have no idea.
Yeah, there's no good answer for that. Basically because metal.
I don't know of any people who have a 14 who would look at that commercial and go, oh, sweet, titanium, let me upgrade.
Right.
I have forever thought that Apple should just have a commercial where they say, best battery in a phone, iPhone. Best performance, iPhone. Best cameras, iPhone. Play clips from reviewers that back it up. And just in one 30-second commercial say, the best overall phone is the iPhone objectively.
Right.
No crazy shots of titanium being forged out of an asteroid. Just facts. Just throw that up there. Make them want to justify the $1,000 price. Done. I don't understand why it has to be a cinematic meteor shower of titanium, because that doesn't make you want to buy the phone.
So the fourth question is, have we entered the unsafe zone with too much tech in vehicles, where now the tech is causing distractions and potential accidents? I'd say because of just the way things are evolving, different distractions and different things. Back in like 70s, 80s, they didn't have like CarPlay and Bluetooth phones.
Right.
They switched CDs and tapes. Like, that's a distraction. Analog content was as much of a distraction as content now is. To dig in your little bag of CDs or tapes, find the one, read it on Sharpie that you barely have on there. Taking your old tape out, it like jamming because it's terrible, because it's an old Nissan. You pull it out, put the tape in, and then it's much of a process as opening your phone, pressing play on a Spotify playlist, connecting your Bluetooth, and putting your phone back down. I'd say it's equal to where it's been throughout the past little while. It's just different. It's just modernizing the distractions. That's my best way of putting that. I don't think it's becoming a dangerous level of distraction. I mean, anything is dangerous. Like, you look behind to see if somebody's behind you and somebody slams on their brakes and you rear end them at 60 miles an hour.
Another car one. Thoughts on speed being so accessible via EVs? Like,
this is going to be such a hot take. I don't even want to say it. I think that from factory, they should limit speeds to like 120.
On all cars?
On all EVs.
I don't know. It's not even the top speed. It's just how fast you can get there. Because you can push just about almost every single new car to 120. Easy. If you lay on the gas long enough, you'll get there eventually.
I think I can get my 07 Civic to 120 if I try.
I'm sure you can. But the speed at which you can get there in an EV is ridiculous.
Okay. Also, I think that there's no good way of changing this. Like, the better things get, the better they are, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, performance vehicles are always going to exist. But I guess, like, family sedans or SUVs going that fast, I don't know.
But also think of it like, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that if you're if you're a good driver...
It comes down to you. You just have to use it responsibly.
It depends on the driver, like 100%. That's pretty much how how driving has been forever. 100% depends on who's behind the wheel. Everybody's safety standards are different, and what they feel comfortable doing is 100% dependable on who's, like, it's personal. So if you think you're safe enough to have a 500 horsepower electric car that can 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, then sure, go for it. If you don't think you can handle that much power, Well, don't floor it, first of all.
Right.
And just control yourself.
Yeah.
So this question says, as we approach the Christmas shopping season, is it safer to online shop on my smartphone, laptop, or desktop?
Honestly, doesn't matter. As long as you're not on public Wi-Fi.
Right. Even if you are on public Wi-Fi, if you use your VPN, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you use public Wi-Fi in general, you'll be fine. It's really not as bad as it's like.
There are not hackers sitting at Starbucks waiting for you to connect so they can steal your, like, that just doesn't exist. Is it potentially dangerous to like do all that?
Could it be dangerous?
It could possibly be dangerous.
So set your VPN to
if you
start
have
on
a VPN, throw it on when you get to Starbucks. But it's not necessarily unsafe to shop or something. Plus, all of the websites that you'd be shopping from have encryption. If they have Apple Pay, your stuff is not going to get stolen.
Right. And if you're really worried about it, use one of those like virtual card things where you can load like a preset card amount and buy it.
Just use a prepaid card.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I have a Cash App card that I use for like all my QT trips, like a vending machine, because I don't want to use my debit card. Like just to be like, because why not?
Right.
That's like my spending money card.
Convenience wise, I'd say it's easier to not buy things on your phone, because like if you want to go to like an Instagram ad or something that like you think is cool and it's gonna take 3 months because it's drop shipped by some 18-year-old sitting in his mom's basement, it's like I think it's just more convenient to buy things on a computer. No, it's fine. You'll be fine. You're safe on everything.
Last question is from our biggest fan, the guy who's listened to every single episode we've posted at least twice, Luke Lodge. Will you start talking about video games or sports related stuff?
Maybe.
Let's do it right now. We'll do 30 seconds on each.
Okay.
Ready? And go. So
go
for
first.
video games, Fortnite original map is coming back. That's pretty huge. The Spider-Man game is out. That's been kind of huge.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play that. It looks really... I never played the Miles Morales game.
Yeah.
My friend had that. He loved it. That was pretty cool. PlayStation Slim is out. Kind of looks the same as the PS5. No new games. And the new Nintendo...
There's a rumor Nintendo console coming out soon, so that should be cool.
Yeah, and then we're seeing like Switch 2 rumors.
Yeah.
All cool.
Yeah.
Video games, done. Now sports. Ready?
Go for it.
Go. Texas Rangers, Houston Astros. Right now the series is 3-2. Houston's leading. The game is tomorrow when we're recording this. I'm a Rangers fan. That's pretty cool. Cowboys season is going all right. We're 4-2 now, going into our bye week. Pretty cool. Mavs season is starting up. You can kind of get a theme here. A lot of Texas teams. Mavs should be pretty good this year. They won their first preseason game. They were going to be the only team that didn't win a preseason game, but they got a win last night, so they're chilling. Texas teams looking pretty good. There we go. Sports, video games. Some variety.
Yeah. And I say we talk about video games occasionally when something new drops.
We talk about consoles a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, that was episode 50.
Pretty cool. 50th episode.
We've been doing this for like a long time now.
Yeah.
Over a year.
We still have not been sent a Cybertruck.
Or a Vision
Send us
Pro.
the one that you did the bulletproof testing on.
Yeah.
Because it's useless now.
Right.
We'll take that one as our press car.
And then we can sell it 100 years later as the first
Bulletproof tested.
bulletproof tested.
Can't wait for that thing.
If you have any questions, comments, or you want to send us a Cybertruck and or a Vision Pro.
You can reach out to us on the platform that charges you $1 a year. Twitter.
For bots.
Yes. Twitter, X, all of it. I'm at Utterly Drew.
And I'm at ColeWWWeb.
And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.